Story of the day, sponsored by Kia's tough and ready lineup of all-wheel drive SUVs. Give it everything. So the Cowboys will open up their season in LA against the Rams in their brand new stadium. Another tough road game for Dallas will be a Thursday night matchup against the Ravens here on Fox, Week 13. So Skip, do you feel better or worse after seeing the Cowboys' schedule?
Better. Shannon Sharp. The harder I look at this schedule, the more I slept on it and went over it again and again this morning. It looks better and better to me. Maybe it's heart over head, but I don't think so. I think the Cowboys could win all their home games. I think they could go 8-0 at home. I think they're going to be so much better on defense that they can win some road games that maybe even I don't think they should be able to win. But given all that, I told you yesterday and last week, I'm not going to jinx them this time. I did let my heart run away with my head a year ago, and I'm kicking myself because it was still the dead weight that was Jason Garrett, old 8-8 Jason Garrett, Coach Clapp. And I went too far, and I jinxed my team last year to say that they could represent the NFC at the Miami Super Bowl on Fox. Too much for them to overcome. I think I put too much pressure on them in the offseason, and they couldn't live up. My quarterback couldn't live up to that kind of expectation, as you call it. So even though Fox Bet has them favored in 12 games, and I look at 13-3 as a distinct possibility, I'll be arch conservative. I'm going to gear myself way down and say 10-6. Don't ask me what the 6 losses are because I'm not going to be able to find them. I'll give you that they're going to lose at Seattle. What's that?
Yeah, the Ravens. I see them. The Rams, Seattle, the Ravens, the Eagles.
Rams? Eagles?
Yeah.
Which Eagles?
Yeah.
Road
the Eagles on the road. Y'all losing. Yes. Week 8.
We play. Hey, Shannon, we've always played great at Philadelphia. I don't think my guys fear Philly at all. And last year, they played them close the whole way. My quarterback couldn't make a play and missed Tavon Austin on the play of the game, wide open for a touchdown. Could have tied the score late at 17. They're not, they got better. They're better on paper than the Eagles, and I think they're better psychologically than the Eagles. And again, I've got to get my quarterback right. If you tell me my quarterback's in a big quandary over franchise tag / stalemate negotiation, whatever, you might have me. But if Dak is right, if he's a happy camper, if he's healthy and he's happy, they're going to win this division. I think they could win it by 2 games. And the only game that I circle where I say, okay, you got me, is the one at Ravens. I don't think they can win that game. All the rest, to me, are winnable. Like Fox Bet says, they're going to be underdogs at Seattle. Okay, I'll give you that loss. Underdogs at Philly. Well, maybe, but they're just narrow underdogs. At Baltimore, they're significant underdogs. And then they're also underdogs to San Francisco in Jerry World. They're going to win that game. Hey, San Francisco, you watch. There's a thing that operates in the NFL that has been historically predictive, and that is Super Bowl loser syndrome. San Francisco is going to have a hard time picking itself up off the mat and getting back in gear. The only team that's ever been able to do it consistently was Brady's team in New England, but that was the GOAT. This is Jimmy G in San Francisco. I think they're going to struggle this year. I think they'll have a hard time psychologically trying to say, we got all the way to the mountaintop and then we didn't peak. No, you didn't. You fell off the mountaintop thanks to Jimmy G going 3 for 11 in the fourth quarter and an interception. So I say San Francisco is going to be in decline this year. Arizona will be on the rise, but Cowboys got Arizona at home. So I think it sets up very well for Dallas. And again, the defense is going to be so much better when you go get Gerald McCoy, Dontari Poe, and Neville Gallimore for the interior. That's some disruption going on. And then watch what Aldon Smith, Randy Gregory, Bradley and Nye do coming off one edge with DeMarcus Lawrence off the other. Watch Wolf Hunter be back in the saddle off his neck injury with Jalen Smith. Watch what Trevon Diggs and Reggie Robinson do with the secondary as ball hawk corner/safeties. Watch the new energy and playmaking they bring. The defense is just going to be better, and CeeDee Lamb is going to change life in Dallas. He will rise quickly to be their #1 receiver, even above Amari. So they'll have effectively 3 #1 receivers because Gallup's on the rise also. Zeke will be re-inspired by all that playmaking on the perimeter. He'll come back as the leading rusher. The offensive line is still top 5, and Shannon Sharp is in bigger trouble than ever this year.
Skip, this is what I don't get. When you thought Trevon Diggs was going to go to Dallas, you say you was unimpressed. You watched him, you say he didn't flash, he didn't jump off the screen. You brought up the game against LSU. Now you have him, and you talk about he's the second coming of Deion Sanders.
Timeout.
Go ahead, respond.
I talked about him. I didn't want him at 17. That was what most people were mocking Trevon Diggs to Dallas at 17. They stole him at 51 late in the second round. Well, he's a talented kid. He's a chip off the block of his older brother, obviously, who's now in Buffalo, because Trevon Diggs was a really good receiver in high school, a star receiver. He's best at ball hawking, getting his hands on footballs. He was chasing Jamar Chase too much in the LSU game. It bothers me. But if you put him in a new system surrounded by better playmakers, I just think he'll rise and shine, and he'll intercept some balls that Byron Jones was not capable of intercepting. He had no ball hawk in his genetics. He was a shutdown corner as far as physicality and athletic ability went. He just couldn't find the ball and get his hands on the ball. Diggs can. Love him at 51. That's a steal because most people had him going late in the first round.
Just one more thing for Diggs. If you believe he's that guy, you should have taken him at 50. So it don't matter where you take him because you told me, well, Shannon, if you're so convinced on Tua, would you take him #1? Yes, I was that convinced. If Trevon Diggs is what you said he is, it should have been no problem. Trevor, should have been no problem for you to take him at 17. Now, when I look at it, Skip, you keep on talking about, oh, we're going to win these games. No, you're not. No, you're not. I don't see how we're going to lose. Skip, what I don't understand about you is that Dallas was the #1 offense as far as total yards. How much better is the guy going to make CeeDee Lamb going to make him, Skip? They were over 400 yards last year. Are they going to be over 500 this year? Again, you talking about him, you and all these other reporters and the Todd McShays are talking about him like he's going to be Randy Moss. Say it right now. No. He's going to have a better rookie season than Randy Moss.
No. Randy Moss, I've told this before, was the most dominating, dangerous deep threat in the history of pro football, and Dallas should have taken him in the first round in 1998, and they passed. I was covering the Bears at that point, and I wrote before the draft, got to take Randy Moss. They passed. Randy Moss ran 4.2. CeeDee Lamb ran 4.5, but he's much faster with the ball under his arms or tracking the deep ball. He's like 4.3 on the field, but he ain't Randy Moss because nobody was Randy Moss. So nobody ever compared. Okay. See, not one comparison did I read pre-draft that said CeeDee Lamb is Randy Moss. But DeAndre Hopkins, yes. Anquan Bolden, yes. You can combine those two, and you've got CeeDee Lamb, and that is enough, and that will work.
I like the Eagles. Skip, did you know our Fox bet has the Eagles as the second best odds to start the season at 3-0? Only the 49ers have better odds because they start with the Cardinals, Jets, and Giants. The Eagles start at Washington, home against the Rams and the Bengals. We got the best odds. Second best odds to start 3-0.
No.
You guys gonna start 1-2. You might start 0-3.
Wait, is it a 3-game season? Is that, we're abbreviated, so it's a 3-game for the Super Bowl? No.
Whoa. You remember the energy you had last year when you started 3-0? You remember how you was talking? Jenny, you remember it like it was yesterday. You come out here looking in your camera. Ooh, my Cowboys, my Dak Prescott. Ooh, my team looking good. It was 3-0, and you over here pounding your chest. Now, all of a sudden, I tell you, the Eagles are going to start the season 3-0. You're talking about, is it a 3-game season? No, we're just going to start. See, unlike you, we're going to start 3-0 and not look back. You guys started 3-0 and got ran down. That's the difference.
Okay. Thank you. Now I'm going to tell you what's really going to happen. Fox Bet has Dallas favored in 12 games. Fox Bet has the Eagles favored in only 11 games. And when I look at the closing schedule